Thank you everyone for joining me today, and good afternoon and welcome to our first of our spring Lunch and Learn series. These engaging sessions are proudly presented by Community Futures Entrecorp, which is dedicated to serving the Medicine Hat area, and Community Futures Chinook serving the Tabor, Brooks, and Warner regions. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Grace Evans, and I am the Digital Service Squad team member for Community Futures Chinook and Entrecorp. As the Digital Service Squad team member, I provide small businesses with free support for online marketing, website development, social media, and more. Thank you everyone again for joining me today for our Lunch and Learn session on fueling business growth through blogging. This session will be recorded and available post-event on YouTube. Please feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A section, and please look to the chat section for additional resource links that will be provided throughout the presentation. And with that, why blog? Frequently, small business owners opt out of blogging or struggle to keep up with frequently posting due to 1. Time constraints, limited resources, a shortage of content ideas, and apprehensions about potential negative feedback. However, allow me to suggest that blogging could be the very growth hack your business is overlooking. Blogging serves a purpose beyond simply boosting social media or website interactions. It's a tool for positioning yourself as a thought leader within your industry, regardless of whether you're operating as a B2C business, business to consumer, or a B2B business, business to business model organization. A blog can serve as a valuable avenue for fostering substantial connections with your customers, spanning from both past to present and into the future. Blogging for your small business. Rest assured, you and your business possess more value beyond just the products and services you offer alone. Maintaining a blog provides an ideal platform for expressing individuality and showcasing what sets you and your business apart from the rest. Blogging, although a commitment, could be the exact thing your marketing strategy is missing. The benefits of blogging far outweigh the drawbacks. By blogging, you can drive traffic to your website, repurpose content on social media, establish yourself as a thought leader, and ultimately convert potential customers into loyal ones. So in the long scheme of things, blogging is about customer relationships. And at the heart of marketing, that's always what we're aiming to do. That should always be our goal. So when I say set clear goals, your goal should always be to be creating positive and lasting relationships with your customers. And blogging is a great tool and fundamental resource to help you really show your business's why you do what you do, and really give a personality and individualistic look at what your business really serves. So like I said, and I'm going to repeat it a bunch throughout this presentation, so get used to it. Blogging is about building relationships, and I talk about that in a lot of these lunch and learns and a lot of the training I do, that marketing and any little tactic or strategy I'm talking about, typically it's about that relationship that you build between your business and your consumer, both your present consumer, your past consumer, and your future consumers. So with that, I'm going right into an example. So Virtue Nurse is a shining local example of a small business harnessing the power of blogging for its marketing strategy. Founded as a nurse-led clinic in Medicine Hat, it has expanded its reach virtually to provide care to the people throughout Alberta. Virtue Nurse excels in their marketing strategy by adopting the educate versus sell model. Rather than solely focusing on pushing their services, they prioritize educating their audience. Through informative content, they aim to empower individuals with knowledge about healthcare, wellness, and the services they offer. So when I'm saying educate versus sell. You're still going to highlight your services. You're still going to highlight your product. But what don't people know about your products or services that you can educate them on? So that is right here. You can see improving mental health in 5 easy steps. Virtue Nurse offers mental health support and services. And so by providing that blog, it's kind of a tie into that service. It's that first step into that service. So rather than solely pushing their services, they prioritize educating their audience through informative content. They aim to empower individuals with the knowledge about healthcare, wellness, and their services they offer. This approach not only builds trust, but also establishes Virtue Nurse as a valuable resource in the community. It positions them as experts in their field and cultivates long-term relationships with their audience and ultimately driving engagement and loyalty to their brand. So at the end of the day, building relationships, building loyalty, giving your audience a reason to trust you, especially in a space such as healthcare. Trust is so important. So that's something Virtue Nurse has really done through their blog, is created a bond and trust between business organization and the customer. Virtue Nurse posts weekly blogs and posts them to their LinkedIn profile. So this is a little unique. Most people, you see them post their blogs directly to a website and then share them to social media. However, Virtue Nurse really leans into being a B2B business and uses the newsletter blogging function on LinkedIn. So they can use this as a place to leverage where people can like and share and comment on their content. These blogs also help them showcase their expertise in the healthcare industry, which is a very powerful networking tool on LinkedIn, increase their engagement opportunities, and so much more. One effective approach to entering the world of blogging, and a reason I bring up this example, is following the example of small businesses such as Virtue Nurse. So Virtue Nurse kind of could lead as an example for, say, another business in the healthcare space looking to break into blogging. So by observing their blogs and drawing inspiration from their strategies, you can craft your own distinctive content. Analyze their topics, writing styles, and engagement tactics to inform your own blogging journey, to create your own strategy. And it's not about maybe reinventing the wheel, but pulling inspiration from other blogs that you're engaged with and that you think are very valuable as a customer or consumer yourself. So it's crucial to infuse your own unique perspective and voice into your content, because that at the end of the day is what's going to truly resonate with your audience. Next, I don't think I could talk about blogging without touching on this tool. I don't think any digital marketing or any digital presentation, lunch and learn you're going to go to is not going to talk about this topic. I didn't want to drag it on, but I thought I would just touch on some basic AI-powered tools and apps that you could use for blogging and why AI would be beneficial in the blogging space. So in any content creation endeavor, AI is one unavoidable tool, resource, whatever you're going to call it. Despite hesitation surrounding its adoption, my top advice for those hesitant to embrace AI is not to view it as a threat to your job security. Instead, consider it as a valuable tool to expand and polish your ideas. AI can streamline processes, offer insight, and facilitate creative, ultimately empowering you to produce more refined and impactful content. So instead of thinking it as this robot that's going to take over the world, think of it as a helping hand to help you push your ideas, push your creativity, push your knowledge further. Don't let it overtake your marketing strategy, but instead implement it as a helping hand. So in the realm of blogging, several AI tools have emerged as indispensable aids in your content creation. Among these prominent names includes ChatGPT, Grammarly, WordTune, HubSpot, Blog Idea Generator, and Quillbot, just to name a few. There's tons out there. And so each of these, I'll just kind of quickly break down what they are. So ChatGPT, for instance, leverages natural language processes to generate coherent and engaging text, facilitating brainstorming and idea generation. So what I just said to you there might be gibberish to a lot of you. Basically, ChatGPT can be used in multiple ways in terms of brainstorming, idea generation, refining text. There's endless amounts. And if you're interested in that space, I just encourage you to not be afraid and hop in and try and use it and try and experiment with it. That's the only way I've found for my clients specifically to kind of axe that fear, is to really hop into it and embrace it instead of criticize and avoid it. Next is Grammarly. Grammarly has been around for years. I think a lot of people don't realize that Grammarly is actually an AI tool. So Grammarly serves as a reliable assistant for refining grammar, style, tone, ensuring that your writing is polished and professional. Basically, it's spell check on a higher level, basically, is the best way to explain it. Grammarly will refine your voice, give you different suggestions of how you can polish your text a little bit better. WordTune offers intelligent suggestions for sentence restructuring and word choice, enhancing that clarity and impact of your content. HubSpot blog idea generator, just as its name suggests, assists you with sparking creativity and generating topic suggestions and tailored to your audience and niche. Like I said at the beginning, that's one of the biggest barriers to people adopting blogging into their marketing strategy, is not knowing what to put out there, what content to their audience is going to be interested in. So HubSpot blog idea generator kind of bridges that gap. Lastly, Quillbot, on the other hand, it aids in paraphrasing and rewriting text, so enabling you to repurpose your blog content or explore different angles. So I think this tool is especially beneficial when taking a blog post and bringing it to your social media channels. So it'll help you paraphrase what's going on in your blog to put in a caption and repurpose it on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and those different platforms that are more condensed and visually focused versus word focused or written focused. So it'll help you take your large blog and put it into easy to digest bite-sized pieces. So these AI tools not only streamline the blogging process, but also empower creators to produce high quality content that resonates with their audience. So welcome to the beginning of your blogging journey. Today marks the starting point of an exciting venture for you and your small business. And I am here to provide 6 essential considerations to guide you along the way. So these are kind of my starting points to think about, especially in the terms of like what to put into a blog. They're very much around the content creation point of starting a blog, so keep that in mind. And of course, if you have more specific questions about blogging, throw them in that Q&A section and I'll happily answer those at the end of the presentation. So like I said, welcome. Your blogging journey starts here. So first, target audience. I feel like I have this slide in just about every one of my lunch and learns because it's that important. So understanding your target audience is crucial for creating content that resonates with them. So you need to know your audience in order to create a blog post that they're going to be interested in. So take the time to research and identify your ideal readers, their demographics, their interests, their challenges and preferences. Tailoring your content to meet their needs will help you build a loyal and engaged audience. And of course, kind of like I said, I feel like I've had this slide in every one of my lunch and learns. So this is, I'm just going to take this opportunity to then again let you know that All of our past Lunch and Learns are available on YouTube. So if you'd like to learn more about target audience, please go to our YouTube channel and check out our target audience Lunch and Learn and dive deeper into that topic, because it's going to be the foundation of anything you do within a digital marketing space. Your target audience is not everybody, and that's a misconception a lot of businesses have. So know your target audience, know them well, and it will help you along the way and help you have a more efficient and you'll get better response to your marketing material. And I promise you that if you take the time to get to know your target audience better. Stay up to date. So staying up to date with news, trends is not only just good for you, but it's good for your marketing and blogging strategy, because it's essential for blogging because it keeps your content relevant, engages your audience, enhances your authority, improves your SEO, and inspires new ideas by incorporating current events and trending topics into your blogging strategy. You can create content that resonates with your audience and helps you achieve your blogging goal. And ultimately, what staying up to date just shows that you're paying attention to, again, that target audience point of view. If you see things come up in current events or trending things in the media, or even trending jokes in the media, and you're incorporating that kind of stuff into your marketing strategy, what your target audience will start to think when they see your content, they're like, wow, that brand really gets me. So that's why we incorporate this kind of stuff into our marketing. They're like, wow, I was interested in that. I was just thinking about that. And it also, again, goes back to that being a thought leader. So if you're in the financial world or agricultural world, there's always current events that are affecting growth and things in those realms. By paying attention and incorporating that into your blogging content, you're really going to refine yourself as a thought leader, as an expert, as a leader in that industry and in that space. Next is educational content. So for those of you who have not had a one-on-one meeting with me, the people who have, you've likely heard my mantra, educate versus sell. I advocate for this strategy because in an online space, we are fed sales pitch after sales pitch after sales pitch. So this approach really empowers small business owners to foster genuine connections with their customers by providing them with value. So selling a benefit versus selling your product. And I always say this, I had a college professor tell me this once, and it's really stuck with me. So selling the sizzle versus selling the steak. So selling the benefit of your product versus selling the actual hunk of meat. So educational blog content serves as a valuable resource for readers to learn new information, acquire new skills, and deepen their understanding of a particular topic that maybe they have questions about in terms of your industry and your business and your services. So example of educational blog content includes how-to guides and tutorials, explainer articles, topical insight and analysis, resource roundups, interviews and expert Q&As, FAQ and problem-solving content, and lastly, educational series and courses. So those are all examples of different educational content. So basically, providing them with something they didn't know and informing them and educating them versus just selling them your product and or service. My next strategy is case studies. So customer testimonials and case studies are powerful tools for building trust and credibility with your audience. These real-life accounts of satisfied customers serve as social proof, demonstrating the value and effectiveness of your product or service. Additionally, they provide specific examples of how your offerings have helped others overcome challenges or achieve their goals, making them more relatable and persuasive. So my next example here is, here at Community Futures Chinook and EntreCorp, we've really found that harnessing our customer success story stands out as one of our most impactful marketing strategies. So these narratives not only forge connections within our community, but also offer invaluable insight into the effectiveness of our programs and services. So while Community Futures is widely recognized as a nonprofit organization specializing in business development, these stories serve a vibrant illustration of highlighting the profound impact of our work in the community. So through these tales of triumph and success and growth, we paint a really good, vivid picture of our dedication and commitment to supporting these local businesses and entrepreneurs. In the chat, there will be links to both our EntreCorp and our Chinook success stories. So if this is kind of a blogging strategy you would like to bring into your organization or your small business, or how you can take a review or a testimonial and build it out into a blog post, I really encourage you to visit either our Chinook or EntreCorp success story page, or visit them both. There's a ton of great stories on there, and it's not just that bite-sized quote that you see on Google reviews or in reviews on Facebook. It's a real built-out story that really helps highlight the programs and services we offer, but also the vibrant and great entrepreneurs we have in our communities. Next, I'm talking think seasonal. So seasonal blog content refers to articles and posts of other written material that aligns with specific times of years, such as holidays, changing seasons, or annual events. Also, I like to note that this can also be industry specific. So example, if you are an accountant, an important seasonal event for you is going to be tax season. So think of like blog content that is going to help people prepare for their taxes, or things about tax season that they don't know, or deadlines they should know about, and putting this into blog content, very valuable. Another example, if you're in the health and wellness space, flu season, another season that is not a holiday or winter, summer, spring. It's a season within your industry that you could really leverage your blog content onto. So not only thinking about the typical pumpkin spice and Christmas and those holiday and seasonal activities, but also thinking more industry specific as well can be very valuable to your blogging marketing strategy. Of course, I have some examples for the typical seasonal ones. So in the spring, you might write about topics such as gardening tips, spring cleaning hacks, or outdoor activities. In the summer, you could focus on traveling guides, barbecue recipes, or ways to beat the heat. When fall approaches, you might think of topics such as pumpkin spice recipes, back to school tips, or fall fashion trends. And then in winter, you could cover topics like holiday gift guides, winter skincare routines, or indoor activities. Of course, these are all just suggestions, and it's one of those things, just if you're lacking inspiration of what you should be putting on your blog, maybe think about what season am I in? What time of year is it? What is going on in my business seasonally that I could leverage in my blog content? Collaborations. So by embracing collaborative blog content, you can leverage the collective expertise and insight of multiple contributors to create compelling, informative, and engaging content for your audience. So collaborative blog content involves multiple contributors working together to create articles, posts, or other written material for a blog. This approach allows diverse perspectives, expertise, voice to be incorporated in the content, resulting in richer and more comprehensive articles. One great thing about collaboration is backlinking. So I'm going to go a little bit on a tangent about obviously engagement and SEO on your website. So a backlink is basically when you refer to somebody else's website in your blog and then link it together. This does amazing things for your engagement and SEO and being discovered online, because what happens is if your website gets featured then on their website, is you're being able to be discovered and found in another facet of online. So being collaborative and leaning off different ways you could backlink and add different contributors into your blog content is great. That goes into that community building portion of marketing. So building your community off of someone else's community. An example of this I've seen is someone like a pet store does a blog about a local shelter and then tags that local shelter in the blog, and then the local shelter then shares that blog on their social media or on their website, and then the two audience or the two communities kind of end up melding together. So in terms of any facet of digital marketing, collaboration is always great. So lastly, there's so many benefits to blogging: visibility, credibility, engagement, growth, authority, reach, connection, conversion, differentiation, and insight. All these are the rewards of blogging. What you invest, however, in your blog is undoubtedly what you'll reap from it. So while AI and different tools like that can be valuable aid in sparking creativity, nothing beats speaking from your unique perspective and in your own authentic voice. So thank you, everyone. If you are interested in blogging, please feel free to contact me and arrange a one-on-one meeting. I'd be happy to discuss this topic further and go into more specific things we can do for your small businesses. So I'm just going to now stop sharing my screen and answer some of your questions. Few questions here, so I'm just going to start at the top. So how should I respond to comments on my blog? This is a tough one, but I always think that you should be responding to any comments on whether they're positive, whether they're negative. It's important we engage with our community and address any comments they might have. Depending on the comment, whether it's a wow, I love this article, or everything you said in this article is wrong. Take the time, take your time. No one's saying you have to respond to those comments immediately, but do respond to them. I think it's a great way to, again, position yourself as a thought leader, position yourself as an expert, and really show your community you care about them by, again, reaching out to them and addressing any comments, concerns that they may have. Of course, it is tough to maybe, like, if someone just said, "Way to go, this is awesome," respond with an emoji, respond with a "thank you very much for your feedback." In any realm, I think that you should be responding to comments on your blog content. Like I said, even if that's a troll trying to point out that you're wrong, try to be as graceful as possible. One of the biggest things with being a business is being the bigger person sometimes, unfortunately. And if we get tied into sinking to that troll's level, it'll ultimately make your business look more unprofessional by sinking to their level. So I know the question didn't say positive or negative comments, but I just wanted to throw that in there. So my next question here, it says, how often should I post new content? Can I reuse stuff occasionally? Reusing content is absolutely acceptable. Would I say I would put a very good grace period in between when you're reusing it. Otherwise, I do feel like your really tapped in, really engaged audience will notice that if you're reusing something quite frequently. And in terms of how often you should post, consistency really is key with any type of digital marketing. However, I also am a firm believer in quality content over quantity of content. So if you personally feel like you can only provide a quality blog post only once a month, then do it only monthly. Monthly is where I'd probably stick to the least. Like if you're doing it every 2 months, then your customers might get less engaged. But if you feel like you can do it weekly, do it weekly. If you're gonna do it monthly. But really, I would pick some sort of post schedule and stick to it, because like I said, those readers, those customers that are dialed in, I know the blogs I like. I'm waiting for them. I know they come out Friday at 4 o'clock, and I'm waiting for them to pop into my feed. So when you can get to that point where your clients are that dialed in, consistency is going to be so important. Next, I have, how can I measure the success of my blog? So the success of your blog, depending on where you put it, obviously measuring the success of your blog, if it's hosted on a website, you're going to be looking at link clicks, website visits, how many people are going to your page. So basically the same old metrics that you'd be looking at to measure the success of your website in general, but you'd also be looking at them specifically for your blog, just seeing if people are going to that page more than others and things like that. And that can all be found in the Insight and Analytics panel of your website, whether it's Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy. They all have their own form of analytical panels. So that's where you would find that. In terms of if you're hosting it on a platform like LinkedIn, likes, comments, shares, those are all going to be a measurement of how successful your blog post was. Next and lastly what are some common mistakes to avoid when starting my blog? So this is an awesome question, and I could point out probably 10, 15, but I'll stick to 3. So basically, one thing I've already tapped on a few times, lack of consistency. So posting a blog post once a year and hoping it changes everything for you, it's not going to work. You do have to kind of hold yourself accountable to, like I said, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Holding yourself to a specific schedule when it comes to blogging is going to be huge. So also neglecting your audience and their needs. So again, it goes back to that one slide I really emphasized on in my presentation. So you can write a blog about whatever you want. That is totally your decision. But you are going to have more success with your blogging endeavors if you do take the time to get to know your audience, get to know your target audience's needs, and curating content that's answering their questions and serving a purpose to what they're looking for. So when I say neglecting your audience and their needs, don't write for yourself. Write for your audience, which shouldn't be hard though, because your small business, your organization typically is an extension of yourself. So when I say that don't write for yourself, write for your audience, for most small business owners, that's not hard because they're so passionate and they're so involved in what they do. Their business, their small business, is just an extension of themselves. And lastly, not promoting your blog. So throwing a blog post up once a month on your website, but then not putting it on social media or putting it in an email newsletter or different types of QR codes and things like that. So not outwardly promoting that you have a blog is going to harm your blog because no one's going to find it. You can do a lot of SEO and stuff like that. Blogging is a great tool for enriching your website with keywords and being able to be found when people are searching non-specific things. However, I still firmly believe that you do have to promote your blog. Put it on social media. Put it on, like I said, in email newsletters and things like that. It's only going to help you. And I think that is my last question. Well, that is everything. Thank you, everyone who joined me today. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact me. I'd love to have a conversation around blogging. Email me at gevans@albertacf.com or give me a phone call at our community Futures Chinook office. And like I said, I'd love to continue the conversation. Just reach out if you need. And I hope everyone has a good rest of their lunch hour and has a good rest of their week. Thank you.